Johnny Quinn?
Yes.
Detective Red Fox, I'm here to investigate your father's death.
Ah, Detective Red Fox. I spoke to you on the phone. I'm glad you could come at a short notice.
Oh no, it's absolutely fine. I had nothing on my schedule anyway. I mean, in fact, I actually have nothing on my schedule for the next 3 weeks.
Good. I needed some smart guy who can solve my father's case.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Anyway, so, tell me, any mysterious things that happened to your father recently that might have caused his death?
No, not at all. He's been secretive for the past couple of months. I've not heard any trouble recently from him.
There's people who's attended the funeral. Who are they?
My sister? Not a problem. No issue whatsoever. The lawyer? He's there all the time. And that's Minnie Black. She's been with my father for the past 2 years. Although my father hasn't had anything decent from her from the last 2 years. Well, he keeps spending all of his money.
I'm sure she gave him plenty, Mr. Quinn. Don't you worry about that. Anyway, if your father was murdered, I'm afraid that I'm going to have to investigate this even much further than before. And I will. Ignore that, I've just recently quit smoking.
Right.
And unlike anything else, Mr. Quinn, I don't miss a trick. Oh, by the way, hold this flower. There we are. Thank you. Right, let's get back to the house. Right, everyone, I have gathered you all here because I've got to interview you guys one by one. And in case you don't know what I mean like you will go first, then possibly you after him, and then you after him, and then you after her, unless you guys want to fight over it, which would be ridiculous. Please don't, because we don't want any more chaos. But, well, just so we know where we all stand, okay? Yeah, you nodded a little bit, yeah, okay, cool, yeah. Okay, cool. Right, I'm afraid that I have some disturbing news to tell you guys. God, this is never easy, just give me a moment. Come on, you rehearse this, you can say it. Your father, your husband, your client, the dad that you both shared 50-50, although I don't know if he loved one of you more than the other. He shared you, obviously, in other ways that these guys do not need to hear. And, I'm sorry, you did know him even though you were his lawyer? Okay, just so I know. Anyway, I believe that Daniel Quinn was murdered. Yes, I was expecting that reaction. I was not prepared for that, but who knows.
You quit smoking?
I have.
Well, good for you.
Thank you. At last, somebody recognises it. So, just so I don't come across as sexist, I'm going to have to do the women first. So, men means you're going to have to be after them. Is that understood? Minnie Black, I believe that you were his wife.
Indeed I was.
Yes, I thought that. Yes, I knew it. Straight in my brain. I was like, gotta be. Anyway, would you please come forward so I can interview you first?
Absolutely.
Marvellous, marvellous. Go right through, please. Gentlemen. You. Miss Black.
Yes.
How long was you married with your husband?
2 years. 2 amazing, wonderful years.
Did you notice any suspicious behaviour recently, by any chance?
Yes. He once wore his jacket inside out. But then again, I suppose everybody makes that mistake now and again.
No, Miss Black, no, not at all. I'm talking about his personality, not his clothes.
Oh, no, there's nothing strange about that at all.
Huh. Well, his son Johnny reckons that he's been spending a lot of his time in his office, making like mysterious phone calls. Have you happened to catch that by any chance before he died?
I wouldn't know anything about that. I mean, I was never allowed in his office. Every time I walked in there, he'd kick me out.
He kicked you out of his office?
Yes. I mean, I don't care. It never bothered me because whatever he did in there is his business, like whatever I do is my business. I mean, discretion is my forte.
Did you two happen to spend any quality time together?
Only in the bedroom, darling. But I don't suppose you want to hear the details about that.
Not unless suspicious behaviour was involved.
Well, I don't suppose a night of passion could be counted as suspicious behaviour, unless you count it in, Detective.
No, I guess not.
You seem a bit stressed, Detective.
Do I?
Ever thought of relaxing with someone yourself?
There's no one to relax with in this type of job.
Well, you never know. Maybe you haven't found the right person yet.
Miss Black, your husband has just recently passed away and you are already preying on another victim.
Did I say you were a victim?
I can see why they call you Minnie Black now that you are a widow. Do you know what a black widow is, Miss Black?
Yes, a spider.
Correct. And you do know what they do, right?
Educate me.
Alright. When a male and a female meet, they mate. You know, the usual. But then, in a twist, she kills the male. But not only does she kill him, she eats him.
Maybe the males die happy then, Detective. Maybe my husband died happy. I think we're done now.
Oh, are we?
Yes. My husband has just died, and if you think I have anything to do with it, then you're wrong. And I have someplace else to be.
Did I say you had anything to do with it?
I don't know. You tell me.
I think you're still grieving for your husband. Deep down in there, you are weeping. I mean, you didn't show the tears at the funeral, but maybe it's because you didn't want to ruin all that expensive makeup with his money. And now that he's gone, no more expensive makeup, you know. So you didn't want to ruin it, you know.
I want to go now.
Well, the door's right over there. You can leave whenever you want. I'm not stopping you. Oh, but I warn you. You need to make sure you don't go anywhere because you're going to still be on my list until I crack this case. Understand, Miss Black?
Crystal clear, Detective. See you around.
Next! Miss Quinn, thank you for being here. Okay, Johnny and Minnie have said that recently, before your father died, he'd been acting suspicious, been in his office a lot, apparently making these phone calls and also repeating myself. But anyway, I need to answer this question. Did you notice anything suspicious before your father died?
Yes, I did.
Do tell.
Well, he asked to come over one night because he told me he needed to talk to me about something.
And that was?
Well, he didn't. He told me to not tell anyone because he didn't want everyone else to worry. But he said that he needed my help.
Help with what?
Money. He told me he'd received a letter which said the words, "Pay up or die." But it was written in ink, blood red.
Ah, thank you for mentioning the colour of the writing. After all, this is a black and white film. Continue.
Well, I asked him who could have sent the letter, but he told me he had no idea. For all we knew, it could have been anyone. It might have been Johnny, it could have been Minnie, or even...
Even who?
Well, I couldn't say anything in front of Johnny or anyone else, but my father did happen to know some people.
Family members?
No, bad people. My father, he was notorious for owing a lot of people money. The real question is who he didn't pay. That's the real mystery.
Why didn't you tell your brother Johnny about all this?
I couldn't tell my brother Johnny about this. Well, they hated each other, my father and him. My father, he couldn't trust him. Yes, they lived together, they worked together, but My father, he refused to pay him because Johnny was being unreliable, immature, and he was getting reckless. But in fact, I remember the night, it was actually exactly the night before he died, I overheard the two of them arguing.
They argued?
Yes.
Did it happen to get violent by any way?
I have no idea, I only heard them through the walls.
Well, Miss Quinn, it shows that your father obviously meant a lot to you. You know, obviously he trusted you the most, and the fact that you couldn't talk to your brother about all this, and the fact that they argued, raises even more suspicion. But I need to know, that note that you mentioned written in red pen, you do happen to have it, by any chance?
Well, it's still in his office, in the top drawer.
The office still keeps getting brought up. Right, I'm going to have to check this office. In the meantime, I don't want anyone stepping into this office. I want to make sure that everyone's out of bounds for it until I start looking inside. Anyone who's caught sneaking into that office will get arrested, either for ruining the case, for the murder of your father, and wasting my bloody time. That reminds me. Next! How long was Daniel Klein?
15 years.
Any recent unusual suspicious activity in the lawyer stuff that you ever did with him?
Not that I know of. But he did keep changing his will.
How many times?
5.
And when was recent?
Last week.
Hey, last week, okay. That is quite recent. But you are reading his will tomorrow, so I better check for any suspicious activity on that part. By the way, did you go in his office recently?
Yes.
Oh, I need to go into this bloody office. Let me go into the office now, please! Huh. Now that is very interesting. Now someone just said it said pay up or die, but for some reason it's done in some sort of weird different code. Maybe it's in some sort of like Dutch code or something. How on earth she managed to crack this, I have no idea. Oh right, it was just upside down. Ah, so the criminal tried to fool me by making it upside down so I would not see what the code actually was. Ha! Very clever, but not clever enough for me. These criminals these days, they think they're smarter than me, but they never seem to get away with it. To prove that none of you actually wrote that suspicious, horrible note, I need a signature of your full name written on these pieces of papers. I will be keeping these signatures just to make sure that you guys are not the actual killer. If I find any writing that doesn't look normal, or you are faking your signatures, or you don't even put down your real name in the correct manner, you will be arrested for the murder. Oh, nice little curl on the wire there, Johnny.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, very nice. I know your name is Boris, but I can't understand your writing. But luckily, it doesn't actually match the signature on the paper, so you'll get away with that. Okay, Johnny Quinn, please explain about your relationship with your father.
I loved him.
Well, okay, but I'm going to need a much more bigger answer than that.
Okay, fine. Well, we had our ups and downs, but what kind of father and son relationship would that be?
True, but there was a witness that said that they heard you two arguing the day before he died.
Argue? Argue about what?
Well, you tell me, what did you argue about?
Who told you about me arguing with my father?
Well, you two must have argued about something, so what was it?
Work stuff.
Well, what kind of work stuff?
Work stuff, you know, work stuff.
Well, it must be pretty big work stuff to argue about, Johnny.
No, I hired you to find my father's killer, not harass me.
I'm not harassing you, I'm just asking you questions. You've got a bit of a temper there, Johnny.
Shut up.
Come on, Johnny. If you didn't do anything, just tell me what you argued about.
Okay, fine. My father slept with my ex-girlfriend.
Bloody hell, I wasn't expecting that. What, so that's what you two argued about over an affair?
Yeah, Valerie Jules. She works down a dance club down the street.
So you and your father was arguing because he done the dirty on your missus?
Yes, that's what happened.
Okay, looks like I've got another suspect on my hands who's not family related. Valerie?
Depends who's asking.
Detective Red Fox, I'm here to ask some questions about the murder of Daniel Quinn.
What do you want to know?
I know that you knew something about his death.
I wasn't there when he died.
True, but I'm going to ask you some questions anyway, and then you're going to answer them for me. Is that okay? Okay, well, Johnny reckons that you and Daniel might have had a secret relationship thing going on.
No. Look, Daniel and I were close. But sleeping together, no. He was too old for me and I loved Johnny. Then, Johnny just turned on me. And after, he started changing.
Are you sure you and Daniel didn't...
No! He was trying to have arguments with me, accusing me of many horrible things. He was suffocating me. And then, out of nowhere, he ended our relationship over his father.
We found a letter for Daniel written by somebody he knew, and only his daughter knew about this letter.
What have I got to do with it?
Well, someone he was close to or knew very well wrote it for him. So, if you wouldn't mind just lending us your autograph, then it will prove that you didn't write it. Write your name down, please. Make sure it's your full name. And your real name. No nicknames or anything. Okay, fine, you're good.
Glad you're satisfied.
Oh, no. I won't be satisfied until I find out who actually did this.
Are you sure that none of the family did it? I mean, how do you know Johnny didn't write it?
Johnny's so far in the clear. He's got an alibi, checked his signature. There's nothing that points him to the evidence of the murder. Mind you, why would he kill his own father just to be with you, eh? No offence, obviously.
Well, if he can accuse me of cheating, what else is he capable of?
Okay, look. What can I just ask, like, how did you and Daniel end up getting close in the first place, if you don't mind me asking?
He took me in, treated me like a daughter. I mean, my own father doesn't even talk to me. Married another woman a year after my mother died. And we don't get on. So I left. Daniel treated me more like a daughter than my own father did when I lived with him and Johnny.
Here's another question. Did your father happen to know Daniel by any chance, or meet him?
Yes, actually he did. Wait, you don't think my dad has anything to do with Daniel's murder, do you?
That depends on when he last saw Daniel.
I guess 3 weeks ago, before Daniel died.
Your stage name is Valerie Jules, right?
Yes, it is.
You're going to have to tell me your real name.
Valerie Walrus.
Is your dad Lawrence Walrus?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Please be careful. My father isn't the friendliest person.
I know. He's unfriendly.
Oh, it's so stunning.
Ladies, can you point me in the direction of the Walrus and Carpenter business?
Who's asking?
My name's Detective Red Fox. I'm here to ask them some very important questions.
Such as what?
The murder of Daniel Quinn.
Never heard of him.
Well, I'm sure they have. Do you mind telling me where they are?
No.
No means no.
Can I have your names, please?
No, again.
Goes for me too. No.
Are you both the wives of these two?
Maybe. What's it to you?
Okay, girls, I've been very patient. All I've been trying to do is get answers for some questions, and at the moment all I'm getting is a bad vibe off you two, so I suggest that you just tell me where your husbands are, and then we can get this case straightened out.
You go near our husbands, I'll shoot you.
Do you have a gun?
No.
Well then, that's not an option, my dear, is it? Now look, why don't you just be polite, little ladies, and just tell me where your husbands are. Okay!
If we tell you, will you leave us alone?
That depends if you give me the right answer. Ding!
Okay, fine. Let's tell him, Cassandra.
They're at the bar manor.
That's a risky place. May I suggest that you bring your husbands down here? We'll discuss it like civilised gentlemen until they rip me to shreds, because the truth will come out.
You don't want to mess with our husbands.
If you take them in the wrong direction, they'll kill you, you know.
You said I was going to take them for a ride. If they just come here and tell me that they didn't do it, then we've got nothing to worry about, have we?
Wait here.
Lawrence and Oliver, how are you doing?
My wife said you wanted to talk to us.
I did. I do.
Something to do with murder, I believe.
So I heard that you both know Daniel Quinn.
He's dead.
Well, yes, I know that, but what I'm saying is that... hang on, my name is Detective Red Fox. I forgot to introduce myself, by the way. Just want to know that you guys knew Daniel Quinn.
No. Yes.
When was the last time you saw him?
Can't remember. Mine's a blank.
So I heard from your daughter Valerie, Lawrence, that apparently it was 3 weeks ago.
You spoke to Valerie?
Yeah, she's fine. And,
Daniel took my daughter away from me.
okay.
So glad he's dead now.
Whoa.
I'm glad he's no longer alive.
You're still talking.
I taught him a lesson. That's what.
And you mean that by...
I put a gun to his head and I scared him.
Do you guys mind writing on a piece of paper just to make sure that you guys didn't do the murder?
Oh, I have no pen.
I got one right here.
Oh, so you do.
What? Oh, come on, guys. You don't want to do this.
We're gonna kill you.
Well, if you guys are going to kill me, then it shows that you guys are the murderers, because, you know, you're trying to hide that you killed Daniel Quinn. This doesn't make you look any more innocent.
Why should I prove my innocence after what that man had done?
Ha! I knew it. I knew it was you guys that made the note and did the letter.
You don't think he wanted to take my daughter away from me? Well, look at this letter. Look at this letter.
Ooh, nice little curl on the wine there, Johnny.
I then leave everything else to my son, Jonathan Quinn.
Boom! Yes! He loved me, everything's mine. He didn't love you. I'm gonna pour a drink to celebrate. Oh, Detective Red. Fancy a drink?
Murderer.
I beg your pardon?
You are a murderer. You killed your father, Daniel Quinn. I know you did it.
Like, why would I kill my own father?
Right, now the whole revelation of how we built up to this part. Okay.
Because you are a sneaky, lying, twisted, jealous human being, you threatened your father with a note, pretending to be someone who thought that they knew he was sleeping with Valerie when he wasn't. You were jealous that Valerie and your sister was close to your dad, and you couldn't stand it. He fired you from the family business, and that's why you really argued. You made up the whole affair so you could get Valerie out of the way, as of course you knew that Valerie had a bad relationship with her father, so you tried to pin it on Lawrence and Oliver. Didn't work though, did it? Because you and your father still didn't see eye to eye, you decided to change his will, pretending to be him so you could get everything. So you killed him to get everything you wanted. Plus, to make sure you didn't look guilty, you hired me yourself, so I wouldn't think that you were in the frame.
So, Johnny, I never thought I'd ever say these words, but you are under arrest. No, that's not right. Well, whatever it is, you are now going to that bad place where naughty boys are, because you've been a very, very naughty boy.
Do you know why I hired you, Detective Red?
Because you literally couldn't afford anybody else. I am the cheapest one, to be fair.
No, it's because you haven't solved a single case in your entire career. And I thought, who would it be best to solve my own father's murder? Oh wait, an idiot who could pin it on someone else but me.
Well, I never thought I'd ever do this, but I think it's time for me to have a cigarette. I say again, Johnny, you are under arrest. Oh, fuck off.